Hey guys, Bill Winkleman here with the Erie County Catfish Club. Welcome to our second installment of a weekly series that we're going to be doing. Today I have an extra special treat for all you guys. Today we're going to be talking about Magic Bait's fine line of products. What we've got here today is a small selection of the stuff that they carry and that they stock. And we've got some bait that we're going to go over and review, and we've got some hooks that we're also going to go over and review, and we're going to give you a little bit of an idea just what they have to offer you and so much more. So stay tuned, don't go anywhere. Alright guys, first product we're going to show you here is some Crappie bait bites. These bites work phenomenally well. They stay on the hook, and let me tell you, you can catch a lot of crappie. With that being said, let's go ahead and we're going to show you another fine product of theirs. We've got floating trout bait. Now, you guys, all those trout fishermen out there, you got a wide variety. You got orange, you got neon pink, and you got your neon green bait here. Now, these baits work really well too. They stay on the hook. Excellent. All their bait stays on the hook better than any other bait on the market, let me tell you. And I tell you what, even on the back of the packages, they actually explain to you how you want to do it. For those guys who have never used the particular bait product, it tells you right here even how to set your rigging and everything up. So, again, a lot of nice bait, and there's so much more that they really have to offer for trout too. You know, now we're going to get into some panfish and perch bait. It's called bluegill bait. It's a really nice bait, again, right here on the front. Shows you how to set up your rigging and everything. And I tell you, this bait, it speaks for itself. It really does. You know, you've got this bait with the bright, vibrant colors and that on it. It'll really attract the perch and the catfish. As everybody knows, perch do tend to go for the bright shine of the colors. And, you know, this bait, it works really good. It'll pretty much work on any type of colored water. Whether it's murky, it's really muddy, it's clear. You can also use this bait for catfish. It even says it right here on the package. And you need to go out, get you some of this stuff, try it out, and I tell you, you won't complain. That's for sure. Let me tell you. All right. Last but not least, we're going to get into some nice catfish bait here. We've got the Wild Hog balls. As you can see, they're big dough balls. It's already prepared for you, and real easy to do. I put these on my hooks. You can, put them on a regular hook, or you can put them onto a bait holder, and the scent is really nice. There's no right or wrong magic bait, catfish bait to use. A lot of it depends on where you're fishing, what those particular fish in that body of water really like, and experiment with it. Try different catfish baits here that they have to offer. And this is just the beginning. Let me show you some more. Again, you got some Hog Wild catfish dip bait. Now this is the same exact bait, but it's in a dip form. Now this stuff's real easy to use. You don't really have to get your hands all messy with this stuff here. This stuff, you're going to have to, handle it. I do recommend maybe some surgical gloves so you don't have to spend a couple days washing the scent off your hands or coming home and your wife wants to kick you out of the house. This stuff here, you just stir it up with a little spatula, a knife, or even a paint stirrer, and you just take your bait holder, you stick it down in there. Let me show you what I mean here. Here's one of their fine products. It's a single hook, and this is a nice bait holder here. And again, you just stick it down in there, stir it, smear the stuff on it like it's peanut butter, and you're good to go. You put it right in the water, and as the water moves, it pulls the scent with it, and it helps to bring the catfish right to you. Another one of their bait holders here. These work really well. They work the same exact way. You just dip them in there, smear them up real nice and good, and you just throw them out in the water. And that's all you got to do with those. They work really nice. Now these are the dough bait holders, like I had showed you here with the hog wild balls. You just simply, these are nice little treble hooks here with a spring load on them. All you do is you take your bait here, and you just real nicely smear and mash it all over into that spring right there, all the way around there, so that way that spring helps to hold that in place, and essentially it ends up working exactly the same. It's a matter of preference is all it is. There's no right or wrong. It's just whatever you feel the most comfortable with. Here's another fine bait of theirs. Big Bite, the original liver and cheese. Now this is a dip bait, as you can see. Same premise. You stir it up, smear it on, throw it in the water, and reel them in. That's that quick and simple right there, folks. You can't get any more simple than that. And then you got a nice big container here, the Stick It. This is a punch bait. Just like the ad says on here, stick it in, pull it out, go fish. It works really, really well. I've used this on my lines, and I tell you what, I've had really, really good success with it. As you can see, this is like a shredded kind of bait, as opposed to the traditional just dip bait, and that's why it's called stick bait. And it works. It just absolutely works. And again, there's no right or wrong bait from Magic Bait to use when it comes to catfishing. It all depends on the fish in the area that you're in. It all depends on what those fish are hungry for. Some of them, they one lake or pond, they'll go for this stuff, and another pond they want this stuff, and another pond they want that stuff, and another pond they want that stuff. So again, folks, there's no right or wrong way here. You just have to experiment, and then of course make sure you remember next time you go to that spot which bait you want to be taking with you. Alright, let's go ahead and move on now. We got the Primo Original Super Sticky Catfish Dip Bait right here. Let me tell you, this stuff here, very sticky, very sticky. This stuff holds onto your bait holders really well, and it's designed to really work well in current water, like rivers, streams, creeks, where there's a good amount of moving water. And how this stuff really works, same with all the other baits, is as the water moves through your bait holder, it pulls some of that off there, kind of like if you're rinsing a plate off in your sink. It pushes it off there, and then that stuff goes right with the water down the drain. Well, same premise here. This stuff goes right with the stream, the river or the creek, and that motion of the current. And what that does is that allows the fish that are away from you downstream, catching a whiff of that, they come upstream. They literally will follow that scent to its original location. And that's how you bring them in, guys. It's just that simple. There's no huge secret to catching catfish. There just isn't none. Alright, let's go ahead and move on. We're going to get into some dough here. We got chicken liver and chicken blood. I got to honestly say, this is my personal favorite. I do have to warn you guys, if I haven't already done so, that this stuff here is really, 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 really potent. As soon as you open your bag, you are not going to like the smell of this, but let me tell you, the kiddies love it. And this stuff here I've had phenomenal success with. I use this particular bait here when I go catfishing probably 90% of the time, and there isn't a time that this bait has ever let me down, and it works really, really well. And again, on the back it even shows you, gives you some fishing facts here, you know, and a lot of useful information. So again, this is the chicken liver and chicken blood bait. Alright, let's go ahead and grab our next one here. We've got the King Cat chicken blood. Now this stuff here is a lot like the chicken liver and chicken blood. However, this one just pretty much contains the chicken blood scent to it. So it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward, not a lot of, you know, ingredients to it or anything. You know, again, folks, it all depends on what the fish like in that particular body of water. Every fish will react differently to each bait that you use. And, you know, when you try for a body of water, it all really just comes right down to what do those fish really particularly like in that body of water. And you'll find that, you know, this chicken blood here will work good in one body of water, and this one will work just as well in that body of water. And then you come to the super sicky stuff, and this stuff will work just as well too. You know, it really, like I say, folks, there's no right or wrong way here. No right or wrong way. It's a matter of experiment, see what your kiddies in your area like, and go from there. They've even got some crawfish and chicken blood. Now this stuff here, this has got real crawfish in it. What they do is they take the crawfish, they grind it up real fine and everything, and they turn it into basically a powder sort. And they mix it in with the chicken blood. They dry the chicken blood up a little bit, and they put them on together. They add a little bit of moisture to it so the balls don't harden up and they stay mushy and everything. So they're real easy to work onto your bait. And I tell you, this stuff works. You just got to give everything a try. See what works best for you in that particular body of water. Because like I said, one bait will work and another one won't work in that body of water. But it's catfish bait. You know, it all depends. Each body of water, catfish and every fish species get used to a particular kind of taste, kind of smell, you know, and it's true. It really is true. So you just got to experiment a little bit here, folks. That's why they have so many varieties of catfish bait. Moving on. You got the Great Scott liver and cheese. Now, anybody who's ever catfished, everybody will always tell you, oh, cheese works really good. You got to have that nice, strong cheese scent. And you got to have that nice, strong liver scent, you know. Or you got to have the chicken blood scent and all that stuff. Let me tell you, well, here you got it. You got the liver and you got the cheese scent to it. Now, as you can see, this stuff here is a little bit lighter in red color compared to the chicken liver and chicken blood. I don't know if you guys can see that there. And then it's still a little bit lighter, even lighter color than the crawfish, chicken and blood. And again, folks, you know, don't just take my word for this stuff. Try it out. Go down to your local Walmart or go to magicbait.com. Pick yourself up a couple bags. Pick yourself up a couple of tubs. Take it out there, and you'll see for yourself. This stuff works. Of course, make sure you're using your fish finder so you know there's actually some catfish in that area where you're working, because there ain't nothing more than I can't stand in hearing somebody say, oh, well, that bait doesn't work, or this type of technique doesn't work. Well, was there even any catfish in your area? You know, hey, bottom line, guys, you know, use some common sense. You're going to go fishing, make sure there's fish in that area. Because you can't sit here and say, well, a product doesn't work if, you know, there's no fish in the area. Okay? there's no fish in the area, guess what? I don't care what you use. You can use a bazooka launcher, you ain't gonna get no fish. So be sure to, use a little bit of common sense, use your fish finder, take a look and see if there's, some possible cats right there in that area, and cast your lines. Tight lines, guys, tight lines. All right, last but not least for today, one of my favorite products, chum. All right, guys, here it is. Everybody wants chum, and those who don't know what chum is, here it is. All it is, for everybody's own acknowledgement here, all it is these dough balls dried up real fine. It's got a semi-moist to it, so it stays, nice and fresh. And as you can see, it's just ground up real fine, And all you do, there's several ways you can use chum. There's no right or wrong way, again, when it comes to using chum. One of the most typical ways people will use catfish chum is they'll just grab a couple handfuls or a couple little scoops and they'll toss it right over the boat. And when you're in a channel, you're in a stream, a creek, a river, that'll go with the current. And that will go for a little while. And I tell you what, within a matter of minutes to sometimes an hour, the fish that are really far away will swim literally up to you. So at that point in time, that's when you want to make sure you've got your lines in the water and you're ready to have them biting. Because all this is going to do is throw the scent into the water to help bring them to you from further away. For example, you throw these on your line, okay, toss that into the water after you've pitched your chum. And see, the chum here, because of being so fine and everything, it just goes right with the current. So it moves away from your boat. And that gets the fish that are away from your boat to come to you, bringing them kitties right to you. And then you seal the deal with your super sticky bait, your liver and cheese dough balls, stick bait, however you want to do it, guys. This is what it's all about. Tight lines, keep fishing. All right, guys. All right. I hope you enjoyed this week's installment from the Erie County Catfish Club and magicbait.com. Be sure to go visit their website again. That's magicbait.com. We're going to put the website right here for everybody to see it. Visit it. Go check it out. You're going to really, really be surprised at a lot of the fine products that they have there at Magic Bait. And as always, guys, keep fishing.